Does your phone's ring feel like a siren, your stomach nodding? You're not weird. Phone call anxiety is real. But here is the truth. You aren't just afraid of the phone. You are afraid of the performance. We live in a world obsessed with messaging. Texting lets you think, edit, and control your image. Phone calls, however, are unpredictable live improvisations.
I don't
Many of us
understand. Are you
rehearsed
sure?
lines before calling friends.
Wait, I
It
have
was a
something
coping
here.
strategy. As calls decline, lack of practice makes them feel high stakes. Rare phone use turns every call into a terrifying performance. But practice isn't the only factor. Psychological traits play a huge role. Today, we unravel the 6 hidden traits behind this modern fear.
No,
Trait
you don't
1
understand.
is
We need to go now.
perfectionism mixed with social anxiety.
But the coordinates are wrong. You need
Perfectionists
to check
fear
again.
mistakes and being
Yes, both of you,
misunderstood.
move it.
On the phone, there's no delete button. The pressure to respond and sound articulate is overwhelming.
Help, I can't
If you
breathe.
value
My
control,
heart is racing. I
this
need a doctor
real-time
now.
nature triggers anxiety. Social anxiety magnifies it. You imagine the other person judging every pause. Your heart races. You might apologize for minor slip-ups. High standards make you judge yourself harshly. It's exhausting, but you're not alone. Ironically, the anxiety makes speaking harder, creating a loop. Trait 2 belongs to deep processors who
No,
need time
that's
to
not
think.
possible. We need to do something
If you
now.
like to mull over information and
Damn
form
it.
ideas, phone calls can feel like a stage without a script. You might
Hello?
freeze or
that
fear
can't
you
be
can't
true.
present your best
No,
thoughts.
please tell me it's not true.
It's not a
No,
lack
it
of
can't be.
intelligence.
Not now.
You simply work at a deliberate pace. In writing, you thrive, but on the phone, the other person controls the pace. This mismatch creates frustration and dread, so you naturally avoid calls and prefer texts. It's stressful when calls feel like an ambush. Trait 3 is the need for mental preparation. If you hate being caught off guard, unscheduled calls feel like attacks. You might rehearse, jot bullet points, or delay answering until you're ready. This urge stems from a deep need for control. Without preparation, you fear rambling or forgetting details. Many anxious callers take notes, breathe deeply, or schedule calls just to survive them. An unexpected ring makes your mind race. Who is it? What do they want? How long will this take? Lack of prep triggers immediate stress. Trait 4 is difficulty processing without visual cues. In person, we rely on faces, gestures, and eye contact to understand tone. On the phone, those signals vanish. Without them, you are forced to guess when to speak or whether the person is annoyed or amused. Your brain works harder to fill in missing context. Uncertainty creeps in. You might interrupt or leave awkward silences. This gap is especially challenging for people with ADHD or sensory sensitivities. Missing body language can turn a simple call into a minefield. It drains energy quickly for many. Trait 5 is overthinking and rumination. After hanging up, your brain replays the conversation like a broken record. You dissect every pause and tone. Did I talk too much? Did I interrupt? This analysis can consume hours, draining energy and fueling anxiety. Overthinkers fear being judged, leading them to avoid calls altogether. The cycle is vicious. Dread leads to avoidance, reinforcing fear. It's exhausting and lonely. In contrast, written communication provides a record you can review and edit, reducing uncertainty. Trait 6 is heightened time consciousness. Many phone-averse people see calls as inefficient interruptions. Unlike texts or emails, phone calls require both parties to stop and respond immediately. You never know how long a call will last or whether small talk will dominate. For productivity-minded people, this unpredictability feels frustrating. They prefer written communication because it allows them to reply when convenient. When time is precious, the potential for a call to derail your schedule adds stress. Thankfully, phone anxiety isn't a life sentence. Start with low-stakes calls and build up. Exposure therapy, practicing progressively harder calls, desensitizes you. Prepare notes and scripts, and even smile while you speak to feel more confident. Ground yourself by breathing deeply or pressing your feet into the floor when the phone rings. Imagine the caller in front of you and use gestures to trick your brain. If you have ADHD or social anxiety, working with a therapist helps. Start small, be patient, and celebrate progress. Reward yourself after each call. Over time, your brain will link calls with success. Talk to a trusted friend about your fears. Hearing you're not alone can be healing. We've unpacked 6 traits behind phone call dread. Perfectionism, deep processing, the need for preparation, lack of visual cues, rumination, and time consciousness. Each stems from understandable tendencies. Unpredictability, lack of control, and fear of judgment can make simple conversations daunting. Understanding the psychology lets you decide when calls serve you and when texts suffice. It's okay to request scheduled calls, take notes, or ignore ringing. Practice, preparation, and compassion turn dread into manageable discomfort. Did these traits resonate? Share your story and tell us which strategy you'll try. Subscribe for our next dive into social fears and strengths. You're more than your phone anxiety.